Hey, good Monday morning, everybody. This is First Warn Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Brad. Pretty the rain is finally slowly moving away from us, so we're actually going to see some sunshine develop this afternoon. But in parts of our area, we're going to see a little bit of snow. Let me show you the radar real quickly because you can see most of the precipitation is beginning to move off to these. We've got a batch of rain there. There's a few showers here. So through about early afternoon, I expect we're going to see at least clouds and maybe a few sprinkles developing. Now, here's the Arctic front. It's essentially, think of this as an Alberta Clipper type system. Behind it, there is a surge of much colder air. In fact, I'm going to turn on the surface observation so you can kind of see just how cold it is behind that secondary front, and that's the next surge of cold air. So temperatures have probably already reached their high temperature for the day, which was in the low 50s. Temperatures will fall throughout the afternoon as this air mass back to the northwest, which you can see is really, really cold, begins to dive into the region. In fact, let me show you the satellite image, and I'll show you real quickly the clearing skies that are developed back in the mountains, but you can actually see the next surge of cloud cover that's associated with that moisture up over the Midwest. What's interesting is there is enough moisture being picked up from the Great Lakes and behind this that the mountains are going to see a little bit of snow. In fact, if you were following me last night, we talked about the winter weather advisory which was issued for the North Carolina mountains. I'll show you that real quickly here as it pops into place. But we've got a winter weather advisory for Avery, Ashe, and Watauga County that runs through 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. And you'll see it right there. You see the advisory in effect. That includes Ashe, Watauga, Avery, and then all the counties along the Tennessee line back into Tennessee. And the reason we have that is we're going to see that snowfall and the falling temperatures tonight, which will cause some icy roads. Let me show you the model data on this. And you can see the rain moving out here, but watch that cold front approaching the mountains tonight. What's interesting is it really picks up a quick burst of snow around midnight and maybe 10 o'clock to about midnight to 1 a.m. And then east of the mountains overnight, looks like a little batch of moisture might try to move east. Now, there might be a few sprinkles here, but I think this is more likely up along the Interstate 40 corridor. We could see a few sprinkles or even a brief flurry before that moves out. It's such a strong piece of energy, and by tomorrow morning, the system is gone. But you could see the snow that develops off the Great Lakes. Look at that fetch of moisture coming off the Great Lakes here to produce some northwest flow snow across the mountains in the southeast. So a really good setup for a brief shot of snow, thus the winter weather advisory. Great news for skiers. This will be a reinforcing shot of cold air. And just to show you how strong this little energy is, this is the vorticity we call it, and this is what I look at quite often to see how strong these little pieces of energy are. This is up around 1,500 feet. We call this vorticity. That is a really potent piece of energy moving in. Now, if it wasn't for the fact that it was coming over the mountains, we'd probably see a little bit more out of this. But because the flow is coming off the mountains, this usually dries things out. But it is strong enough that maybe Greensboro to Statesville to Hickory could see an overnight flurry. Don't think it'll amount to much, but one thing we'll have to watch are the road temperatures because tonight temperatures will get close to the freezing mark east of the mountains. So anything wet could ice up, but there's a better bet for ice in the North Carolina mountains, thus why we have the winter weather advisory. So there's a quick look at the winter weather advisory in effect for tonight. Excuse me, sneezing. We'll have updates throughout the afternoon, and we'll talk about the colder air moving in for the middle of the week. Now, Facebook is already bubbling with talks of winter weather some point next week. I'll be honest with you, there's no real threat right now, but the pattern is something to watch. So just a heads up, there is a really good pattern possibly developing starting Sunday into next week. Now, we're talking a week out, but it's a pattern right now. There's no significant storm showing up in the long range, but the pattern definitely would tell me there's going to be at least a wintry threat at some point next week in the southeast. Could be cold rain, could be snowy, but something to keep an eye on right now. I'm not going to get people's hopes up or talk about a specific storm showing up in the models because there really isn't one right now. I like to see everything kind of come together, but just to kind of squelch some of the rumors which are going out there because people are looking for clicks on their Facebook pages, the potential is there, but there's nothing there yet. That's all I'll say. Of course, I'll post more, I should say, throughout the week as we get closer to this pattern coming up on Super Bowl weekend. Have a great Monday, everybody.